Every so often, I like to return to particular fragrances to kind of get a feel for how they may have changed on me, or if maybe I didn't really take the time to appreciate them initially. Well, in today's video, I'm returning to one that is a bit controversial, and I have to say, I didn't really like at first. Have my thoughts changed on it? Let's get into it, and I'll tell you. Hey guys, Ryan here with Tom Notch Persona. I hope you're doing well. Today's video, I'm actually returning to an old fragrance. Actually, it was one of the first ones that I reviewed on this channel. It is this one right here, the new Dior Homme 2020. This one came out earlier this year in January and was almost immediately facing controversy from people, primarily because it is nothing like the original. I'll be honest that I didn't really like it at first. When I first tried this, I had a sample, one of those deluxe minis, the 10 ml ones, and I smelt it, and there was nothing really special about it. It wasn't until I really, I had been using Sauvage, and I started using the Parfum, and that's actually how I got the sample, and I was trying it out, and I'm like, oh, Sauvage is such a good line. I'm just gonna go for this one. I'm gonna try it out, see if I like it. This was actually my first Dior Homme, funny enough. So I feel I wasn't really biased like a lot of other people who knew the original was awesome. They knew Dior Homme Sport was awesome. They knew that Dior Homme line was killer. It's a great line, and then they got this. So I can understand why they were upset. But with me, when I first experienced this, I had no idea about the Dior Homme line. So I feel my nose was a little more partial, a little more fair to this one. That being said, even so, it still wasn't a profound fragrance for me. Alright guys, I'll cut right to the chase with this one. I don't want to waste any time. Have my thoughts about Dior Homme 2020 changed? No. No, they really haven't changed much. I still think it's a pretty decent fragrance. I get 7 hours out of this one. It's a very light projection. More of an intimate fragrance, I would say. Something that, you would want to wear casually, just hanging around the house, or going on a date or something. um, Essentially, think of Dior Homme Sport and what you would want to wear Dior Homme Sport for. You'd want to wear this for almost the same thing, and honestly, I prefer the composition of Sport a bit more. I like the citrusy vibe more so than the synthetic ISO-y super that I get out of this one. Alright, that being said, my appreciation for this has changed. Alright, here's what I mean. I actually, I switch off at work between trying to sell Sauvage and trying to sell this. And this actually sells much less frequently, as you may imagine. But through, trying to sell it, I've kind of got new insights out of it. Alright, I'll tell you what I mean. So when I'm at work and I'm trying to sell a fragrance, the first thing I want to do is put on the fragrance, right? I spray it on my jacket. My jacket at the end of the week smells very, very much like a combination of different Sauvages and Dior Homme. But yeah, I put it on first, right? And you just saw I sprayed, over 12 times. The one thing I realized from this one is it is such an easy fragrance to wear. Alright? I think that, you could spray the entire bottle of this and still be fine. I mean, you probably wouldn't want to do that. I mean, it goes for $95 for 100 ml. So it is on like the pricier side. But I'm just saying, if you wanted to do it for whatever reason, I think you could. And I know with a lot of guys, like casual wearers of fragrance, they don't really want to think about all the minor details, like, oh, how many times should I spray something on, or what should I wear to like a specific event, or what am I going to wear to work. And I think that's where Dior Homme 2020 really shines, because it is such an easy choice. You really don't have to think about it whatsoever. You can put this on, 10 times, you can put it on 20 times, you can use 30 sprays, whatever, and it's fine. And you can use this wherever you're going, right? So it's really good casually, like I said before, intimately, kind of just hanging out on your own. But you could wear this one to work, all right? And you could spray this on, 15 times and go to work, and you're not going to upset anyone. I mean, it is a synthetic note in this primarily. That's the dominant note in this, but it's not an overpowering synthetic. Like for example, Ambroxan, I feel if that were used in a way where it was the most noticeable note. Actually, in Sauvage EDT, it kind of is, but it's blended with the pepper nicely. But if it was a standalone note, I think it would be way too powerful. ISOE Super, on the other hand, I don't have much experience with it in other fragrances, but for this, the ISOE Super is a very mellow synthetic note, and I think that makes this a great choice, especially for people who frankly couldn't care less about their fragrance. They just want something that smells good and that's going to last them a good portion of the day. So where would I rank this Dior Homme among the others? I would say this one's the worst. My opinions of it haven't changed. As you may remember from my initial review, I had said that, this is an 8.5, but if this is the worst, that has to give you some idea about how great the other ones are. I just feel personally that this is more of a generic fragrance. This is more something like an Acqua di Gio, something that's just meant to be mass appealing, meant to be easy to wear, something that's going to require no thought. And yeah, I know I just said that that's what makes this one good, but to me, being more of, I'd say, a refined wearer of fragrances, I don't necessarily want something mass appealing, something safe, something that is going to be easy to wear. And I think that's why I love the original so much, because, yeah, it's nice, it's pleasant, but it's distinct. It's safe enough to wear, but it's a little bit daring, it's a little bit, you know, going away from the normal. Or maybe the normal was more like that back in 2005 when it was originally released. I don't know. But nowadays, I would say this is the new normal. Kind of more generic, safe, kind of just easy fragrances, and for the majority of you people, especially, casual wearers, I think that, this is going to be, your kind of fragrance. For my more refined users, my more aficionados of fragrances, I still don't think this one's very good at all, because it's just too mainstream. But I'm interested in what you guys think. Do you like the new Dior Homme? Have you given it a second chance, or have you been faithfully kind of wearing it? How do you think it compares to Dior Homme original? Let me know down in the comments, and if you haven't already, give this one a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. I post a lot of fragrance related stuff, style related content as well, and it is all stuff that is really, really interesting, and you definitely want to stay up to date with it. Alright guys, but remember, when you look and smell your best, you feel your best, and that's what matters.